Good morning, class. We are into Act 3 now. As always, brought to you by the new Faro's Lounge Kickstarter, 24% to go. 24% to go. Will we get there? Who the fuck knows? We're up to Amazing Spider-Man 73. We're up to pages. Today we do pages 17 and 18. We were having some struggles the last few classes trying to whether or not we should extend certain scenes because we feel like we were rushing through them too fast to get to the next scene, but when you read them over, which is part of the fun, you realize they work. So we are now literally 2 acts in, 16 pages into our AracKnight Chapter 3 script. Chapters 1 and 2 are done. They have covers on them already. God willing, my man Emil finally gets his ass in gear and gets the pages done for Faro, and then I can move him into the AracKnight Chapter 1. And we're currently looking for somebody to start drawing the AracKnight Chapter 2. So I'm literally going to try and get both comic books getting drawn at the same time. I've always wanted to make a Spider-Man graphic novel, and I'm just going to fucking do it. Just the same way I wanted to make comic books, couldn't get hired by Marvel DC, so you just started making your own comic books. Made a nice little chunk of change. Now you find yourself at this crossroads of what the fuck do I want to do in this business? What do I want to do next? I want to put my stamp on my favorite fucking character. That is essentially what I want to do. So I'm doing it. I hope that at some point the Marvel Comics universe will go through some sort of renaissance, maybe new hiring, maybe they'll fire all the pieces of shit that are there now. And I feel like this puts me in position to put out something cool, something fun, but also show it can be done. Because we're going to start producing the damn thing. What the hell? We only go around this rocket space once. Perhaps a few times. When we left off, let's get over on our last page. Because we kind of led into it already. We started leading into it. On page 15 and 16, our last class, there's a lot of conversation. So we put 8 panels in the pages to kind of have some story. We see, it's always good to do a little proofreading. We see a long shot of the sun beginning to rise over Empire City. Peter and Ben are sitting alongside the opening in Peter's rooftop apartment. They're staring out into the sunrise as they chat. Caption across the panel reads 6 beers and 6 slices. That's quite a yarn, kid. You're lucky to be alive. If I was lucky, the spider would have killed me. In a way, it did. Nothing was the same after that night. Then your parents were taken out, so in many ways the spider ended your childhood, killed your innocence. It gave me the proportionate strength, speed, and stamina of a spider, not to mention a healing factor. What doesn't kill you makes you a superhero. They clanked their last 2 beers together. Do you think the doctor was right? That my parents were working for the wrong side? That they knew what would happen? And that maybe they were planning to run tests on me before the spider? You want my honest answer? Does it really matter anymore? Your parents are gone. Half the country beyond us was wiped out. And here we are floating over all of it. A glamorous toilet over a valley of shit. Maybe your parents were double agents. Maybe they were clones. Maybe they were Skrulls. Maybe, just maybe, that crazy old doctor is telling you what you need to hear so you'll join his cause. Uncle Ben stands up, slightly tipsy, but still talking as Peter stares off into the distance. I don't have all the answers, kid. Nobody does. But I do know this. Not one piece of evidence or avarice will bring back my kid brother. Or his wife. You'll never get closure, Peter. You have to move on, kid. You have to embrace a new chapter in your life. Now, this is close up on Peter fighting back tears. You have to embrace a new chapter in your life. Regardless of what is running through your veins, you are under no laws or obligations other than to live your best life. And maybe that's not here. Maybe we're better off hitting a steamer from Madripoor. Go spend some time in the jungle. Close up on the tears drying up as Peter starts to come out of his funk. However, if you want to stick around and finish what you started, I got no problem helping you kick this crazy doctor's ass. Or the mayor, for that matter. I didn't vote for the asshole. Peter stands up and faces Uncle Ben, who's munching down the last slice of pizza. I'll need a new suit, and I think we've cleaned out my parents' old lab. Do you think if we reach out to one of the heavyweight brains in town that they could assist us? No questions asked? Perhaps Tony Stark, Reed Richards? Uncle Ben will say, well, Reed Richards is halfway to Mars by now, and recent streams have reported that Old Man Stark has gone missing in the wasteland. Little Easter egg tidbit, little tidbit. So it's on us, kid. Then who would have the tech we need to manipulate? You already know the answer. We cut to the outside of Oscorp Tower. The Colony Command Center is up and running, sir. Will there be anything else? Panning inside to the rooftop office of Norman Osborn, we see him sitting angry and silent while staring at the holographic projection of the Oscorp station. We pushes away? No, he pushes away. He pushes away his sexy assistant, as he is in no mood for company. She is holding 2 drinks, which he ignores. No, thank you, Daryl. That will be all. Close the lines. Tell any and all I do not wish to be disturbed. Does that include? It does. I'm not in the mood tonight. As his assistant sadly slinks out, we see Norman hit a button on his control panel. Marco, what's the status? We are at the dock, sir. There's definitely a lot of radioactivity coming from the source. So he is still alive. Whatever is down there, he will have heavy surveillance. Those blasted bots. We will drop the EMP, sir. We will render them useless. We cut to the squad of troopers, armed in scuba and diving tactical gear, as they make their way into the water from the dock point closest to Dr. O's hideout. Mayor Osborn continues to communicate with the leader while they descend into the water. I'm not looking for any dramatic reunions, gentlemen, so there is no interest in taking him alive. However, you must confirm his death, so do not be too sloppy. Yes, sir. We cut to the troopers in the water swimming alongside the track for Dr. O's slip ship as they descend towards his hideout. He's constructed a track down here, sir, which he uses for moving cargo. There were tons of cakes that went down with his ship. That one. There were tons of cakes that went down with his ship. No doubt he's the one supplying hostile nations with nuclear firepower. All the more reason to end his escapades here. Escapades or escapade? All the more reason to end his escapade here. However, if you can salvage any of the cakes, SFX of blaster fire. We see Dr. O's purple-clad minions swimming up towards the troopers, firing their blasters. The troopers drop EMP bombs towards the minions. We've got incoming. The EMPs take out Dr. O's minions, sending them unconscious and floating up and away. SFX of the impact of the EMPs. Of course. The EMPs. Excellent work, gentlemen. I'm adding seasonal bonuses for all as we speak. We cut to inside the underwater lair where Dr. O waits in his chair, smiling patiently with a sinister grin. The troopers surround him off-panel. The mayor sends his regards. It's over, Doctor. Dr. O says, indeed it is. With a wicked turn, the doctor's chair spins him around like a jigsaw robot in the Saw horror series, with mechanisms beginning to form and transform into his weapon. SFX of the spinning and transforming. Indeed it is. For you, a very Bane. Doing our little Bane scene. Yep, right. Dr. O will transform his chair into his spider octopus-like tentacled machine man form, and he will horrifically dismember and destroy the troopers sent by Osborn. It will be like Darth Vader in Rogue One wiping out the rebel soldiers, or like Luke taking out the Dark Troopers in Mandalorian, when Mandalorian used to be good. All right. This is our notes here. This is what we're using for these 2 pages, or this 1 page. I'm just going to put the fucking thing right in here. And we'll just... Dr. O can have his revenge. There's page 18. So today we're doing 17 and 18. All right. Well, I'm doped up on allergy medication. All right. Dr. O will transform his chair into his spider octopus-like tentacled machine man form. and he will horrifically dismember and destroy the troopers sent in by Osborn. It will be like Darth Vader in Rogue One, wiping out the rebel soldiers, or like Luke taking out the Dark Troopers in Mandalorian, when Mandalorian used to be good. In Mandalorian Season 2 finale. Now, of course, I will send him these clips, wherever the artist may be. In a large splash panel where you can show multiple versions of Dr. O transforming. Showing that his lower body is gone and replaced with a transforming chair, much like Dr. Loveless in Wild Wild West. Dr. O will transform his chair into a spider octopus like tentacled machine man form, and it will horrifically dismember and destroy the troopers sent in by Osborn. It will be like Darth Vader in Rogue One wiping out the rebel soldiers. You can. Don't think we'll use all the panels, but he could. We can have him lay out the page in a way where the main overall page is Dr. Octopus transforming. His chair transforming into like a spider octopus creature. We see a shell, a glass shell, forming over the doctor and his upper body, ready to protect himself from gunfire and the walls collapsing. We see the minions open fire, but they are helpless as the tentacles. See, we'll put that in a separate panel. Let's not worry about the dialogue just yet. We see the minions open fire, but they are helpless against the doctor's whirling tentacles. SFX of the gunfire and whirling tentacles. The tentacles, one of the tentacles turns into a pincer like edge and punctures the mask of one of the minions, crushing his face and skull. SFX of the crushing of the tentacle crushing the mask and skull, and screaming of the minion. Two tentacles grab one of the minions and rip him in half. His guts spilling everywhere as the rest of the minions run, shoot, and scatter. We cut to Norman Osborn sitting eerily calm with his hands folded as he listens into all of the chaos and killing over his radio. That's right. Damn. Good, 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 good. Order's been executed. Good to that shit. All right, good for you. Good for him. Whole shitload of people online for a goddamn concert. Good for them. What we got here? I'm gonna kill the fucking goddamn fleas. Little fucking sand fleas that get inside in the summer. All they want to do is ruin the summer. Fucking cunts. All right, back to work. We cut to Norman. So we want to have two tentacles, or we have Norman listening in on the other one on panel 6. See the minions open fire, but they are helpless against the doctor's whirling tentacles as effects of the gunfire and whirling tentacles. One of the tentacles turns to a pincer-like edge and punctures the mask of one of the minions, crushing his face and skull. As effects of the tentacle crushing the mask and skull. Okay. Let's do that. As effects of the running, shooting, and scattering. Yeah, it's a splash panel, so you don't need all 6. You want to get the point across, you want to get 2 good kill shots in there, and the rest you could have Norman listening in as he fucking just takes them out. Of the distortion and chaos over the radio. So you essentially have page 17 laid out. In a large splash panel, you can show multiple versions of Dr. O transforming, showing that his lower body is gone and replaced with a transforming chair, much like Dr. Loveless in Wild Wild West. Dr. O will transform his chair into a spider octopus-like tentacled machine man form, and he will horrifically dismember and destroy the root troopers sent in by Osborn. It'll be like Darth Vader in Rogue One wiping out the rebel soldiers, or like Luke taking out the Dark Troopers in Mandalorian Season 2 finale. We see a glass shell forming over the Doctor and his upper body, ready to protect himself from gunfire and the walls collapsing. The reason I like my guy Emil is he can really have a lot of fun with this. So now we really just need dialogue. We see the minions open fire, but they are helpless against the Doctor's whirling tentacles. One of the tentacles turns into a pincer-like edge and punctures the mask of one of the minions, crushing his face and skull. Two tentacles grab one of the minions and rip him in half. His guts spilling everywhere as the rest of the minions run, shoot, and scatter. We cut to Norman Osborn sitting eerily calm with his hands folded as he listens into all the chaos and killing over his radio. Oh, 5 panels, pages laid out. We're going to look at like one big panel where you see the transforming, the multiple versions of Dr. Octopus transforming, the chair transforming, a la Michael Bay style. And then you have panels 2, 3 on this side, 4, 5 on the other side. So it's kind of like a splash panel with the kind of panels over them. So the main focus is them transforming. I like that. We lay it out like that. So now we need dialogue. Let's mine. We don't need a lot of dialogue. It's mostly about the action and the grotesqueness here. But it is a comic book. So there should be some taunting. Man Mountain Marco. Now, Marco is the name we used for the lead agent here that got his fucking guts ripped out. So Captain Stacy, we're getting our run with him. And Gwen Stacy, there he's in bed. Everybody's good. The tablet's been stolen, but he's healing. Spider-Man's watching. He wants a piece of some Gwen action. Let's suppose Peter Parker is cold. Well, I did think that. Oh, why? Why worry about that? He's not the only boy in the world. He's still angry about his meeting with Flash Thompson. So, ex-detective father, some incriminations, something they see. He comes in on Captain Stacy. And what we need here now, what we're going to get out of this issue is we just cut to an explosion. Not explosion. We're on this page where Spider-Man is going to get together with Commissioner Stacy. So we could transition from Norman Osborn listening to all those guys getting ripped apart by Dr. Octopus. But we need to get Spider-Man in a suit. He's burned his suit. I did that. We did that in the storyline because he had a tracker on. Your dad starts texting. You have to wait, Dad. Stolen. You got your signals crossed, mister. This isn't Grand Central Station. Just because. Goddamn fucking bugs, yeah. Just because I don't think you're as bad as you're painted doesn't mean I like having my house broken into. Sorry about that. All right, what do you want to know? It's about the Shocker. When he stole the tablet from you, did he have any clues? Did he leave any clues? Did he mention any place where he might have intended to hide it? I'm afraid he was too smart for that. I was lucky enough to catch him and have a gift wrap for the cops. But nobody's been able to learn where he stashed the stolen tablet. Wait! The Shocker used to have a girlfriend. She paid his bail. Okay, so when he goes to see the girlfriend, she lives somewhere on the west side near the theater district. Called herself an exotic dancer. All right. You know, some of your regular Earl Wilson. I like that. So what we got out of this issue is we need to have Spider-Man popping in on the Commissioner. A la Batman Begins. False alarm. So Spider-Man's got to listen in on the chick, the girlfriend. A man Mount Marco breaks in on the girlfriend, says, want the fucking tablet, you stupid whore. The Shocker fucking took it. I work for Silvermane. I'm going to fuck some shit up. I'm going to throw this guy into a fucking wall. This hot little piece of ass. She's banging the Shocker. She's banging fucking Man Mount Marco. She likes him big. The fucking size queen. We hate to just cut out a time like this, but there's something else going on that will have an impact on Spider's life. First, the Kingpin stole the blasted tablet, then Spider-Man got it, now the Shocker. Who knows? I was a fool to work for the Kingpin. Oh, so this guy was the one that was helping him translate the tablet. But this guy busts him out. And he works for, I'm assuming, Silvermane. Yes. You don't know about the tablet anyway. You're the Kingpin's biggest brain. The tablet, but I don't have it. Yeah, we know. It'll soon be ours. So what we know here is this goes into all these guys looking for the tablet. They work for Silvermane. He gets the tablet. He fucks Spider-Man up. And we're using Man Mountain Marco, and he's getting killed right now. I can't stand the Robbie Robertson fucking Randy Robertson bullshit. The fucking white men suck. No, we're not going there. Fuck you. Man Mountain Marco drops the chick out the window. Spider-Man grabs the chick before she dies. A la Gwen Stacy, carries it back up. Silvermane wants the tablet so he can read it and he can turn young again. It's the Fountain of Youth tablet. The storyline's been done. They're obviously going to go after Kirk Connors. They want him to read the tablet. He's a tablet expert. Now remember, when we have these minions attacking Dr. Octopus and he's fucking them up, we still have Kirk Connors, the captured lizard, the Killer Croc character. He's still down there. So we can have a page later on. We can save that page to the end where his tank breaks open and he busts out of the underwater lair situation. So again, not the biggest fan of this storyline. This was the Randy Robertson bullshit. So I'm trying to get through it and pull whatever I can out of it. What we have here is, again, some interactions between Spider-Man and Commissioner Stacy. But we need some dialogue for this here page. You know, Dr. Octopus can be like taunting the shit out of Norman Osborn here. The collapse. I had a lot of time. I had a lot of time, Norman. Time stuck under the weight. Time stuck under the weight of my lab, where I did my greatest thinking. I had a lot of time, Norman. Time stuck under the weight of my lab, where I did my greatest thinking, where I waited to die for an execution. You didn't have the stones to carry out yourself. But the cakes of radiation you left here to finish the job became my nourishment. While others fear and cower at the wonders of radiation, radioactivity, I have made it. I have mastered it. While others fear and cower at the wonders of radioactivity, I have mastered it. So here we go. Here's our Dr. O. We see the minions open fire, but they are helpless against the Doctor's whirling tentacles. You mistook this lair. You mistook this lair for my prison, which is why, once again, you mistook this lair for my prison, which is why, once again, you didn't carry out the sentence personally, which is why you will once again fail. One of the tentacles turns into a pincer-like edge and punctures the mask of one of the minions, crushing his face and skull. These tentacles are no machines. They are no artificial limbs. My chair. These tentacles are no machines. They are no artificial limbs. They move and obey. These tentacles are no machines. They are no artificial limbs. They move and obey. They move and obey as they are connected to my brain and spine. A mutation I have you to thank for. These tentacles are no machines. They are no artificial limbs. They move and obey as they are connected to my brain and spine. A mutation I have you to thank for. The two tentacles grab one of the minions and rip him in half, his guts spilling everywhere as the rest of the minions run, shoot, and scatter. Two tentacles grab one of the minions, rip him in half. A mutation I have you to thank for. A gratitude that I intend to deliver personally. A gratitude that I intend to deliver personally. But first, a gratitude that I intend to deliver personally. Personally. Alright, so we cut to Norman Osborn sitting eerily calm with his hands folded as he listens to all the chaos and killing over his radio. Do we want a line here? A gratitude that I intend to deliver personally. Because he was saying how you got no balls. First time you fucked with all the machinery to kill me. It didn't work. Now you send your fucking minions. That's not going to work. This is what I'm doing to them. I'm going to fucking. And when he says, okay, let's go over this because we may not need any lines. Just have Norman sitting there calm. You mistook this lair for my prison, which is why, once again, you didn't carry out the sentence personally. Which is why you will once again fail. These tentacles are no machines. They are no artificial limbs. They move and obey as they are connected to my brain and spine. A mutation I have you to thank for. A gratitude I intend to deliver personally as he rips the guy apart. I like that. We cut to Norman Osborn sitting eerily calm with his hands folded as he listens into all the chaos. As he listens in on all the chaos and killing over his radio. SFX of the distortion and chaos over the radio. You shouldn't have a line there. It's Norman listening to fucking his minions screaming and just sitting there planning. Rather than being scared and shitting his pants, he's planning his next fucking move. Silent fucking panel. All right, page 17 is in the books. We get to show off Dr. Octopus. We get to show off the fucking chair. I always wanted to do something different with him, just not having a fucking harness with the 4 arms. I said if I was going to do Dr. Octopus, it should be like Professor Xavier, except the big fucking chair like transforms into like a fucking walking fucking mechanism type thing, so that he can have his upper body and his like strength and screaming, almost like Krang, like Darth Maul when he loses his fucking spot, when he loses his fucking torso, his legs. Essentially, our Dr. Octopus has no damn legs. He has no damn legs. All right. So what I'm thinking on page 18 here, we can cut away now. We've had Norman Osborn's listening in. Dr. Octopus killing all his people. We'll throw an Easter egg in later on of the lizard escaping. Because remember, we still have the lizard. Something for the lizard now, we see. People have to comply. We're not doing that yet. The lizard is still trapped, is still stuck in Dr. O's bunker. So what's going to happen now is maybe Peter's got to take the commissioner down to that underwater lair, and it's going to be deserted. Now, you want me to send a squad of men underwater? Plans to destroy a la Final Fantasy VII, sink Empire City so you can live in it. I don't really like that. We can get there, we can get there in the finale where you can say, fuck it, I'm going to sink. If Peter foils him at the end of this issue, he can say, I'm going to fucking sink this fucking city, Dr. O can even get his revenge at the end where he injects Norman with his version of the tainted serum. That could work. We're not saying no to that yet. Dr. O could be the one that turns Norman Osborn into the Green Goblin. We can go there. All right, page 18. J.C. Chazes. Douche LaRouche. Douche LaRouche. Good shit. All right. So page 17, we've said Dr. Octopus ripped the living shit out of the minions. Tell Norman Osborn he's coming for him. He told Norman. Told Norman he's going to blackmail him. Norman answered by trying to have him killed. He sent the squad down to the underwater lair. Dr. Octopus was waiting. His minions fought, but then the mayor's people were able to throw down an EMP, take him out. And now they show up to the lair. Dr. Octopus fucks them up. Fucks them up good. So where do we go from here? We've got 7 pages left of story in this particular chapter. What are we going to do with these 7 pages? How do we craft it? Do we have a showdown? Do we set up a showdown? Does it end here? Is this just a 75-page fucking graphic novel? What will happen? Remember, we left Peter Parker, he's got no suit. Him and Ben are just drinking some beers. Peter's got to get a suit. They're talking about the only place to get tech. We've eliminated the lab. I wanted to get rid of the lab. It's too easy to just go back to the lab and make a suit. That's boring. I wanted to challenge yourself as a writer so that you're forced to make the story more interesting by making yourself think. Because they can just go back to the lab and make another suit. It sucks. They should have drained the lab for everything they could fucking do. Or they can go to the lab right now The fucking lab is blown up. We could blow up Oscorp Tower. We could do a lot of crazy shit right now. Norman could blow up his fucking tower and pin it on the doctor. Norman could call, like fucking emergency in the city and evacuation order. A lot of shit can go down right now. That's the real question is what happens? Peter can take the cops down to the dock, but he's got to get a suit. He's got to make a suit either out of cloth. He had the high-tech suit that he got from his folks. Now he's got to make a new suit. That's where we are. All right, let's mine the next comic book and come what we want to do next. We can't just have him showing up to Commissioner Stacy because he got no fucking suit. We took the suit away. He burned the fucking suit. There was a tracker in the suit. Next issue. All right, so Man Mount Marco is going to beat the living shit out of poor Kirk Connors. Go back. Because Kirk Connors apparently could read the tablet. A pity that Caesar Cesaro is not here. How my scheming rival would enjoy this evidence of an old man's frailty. Never was the biggest fan. Let's see if we can get something out of here. You have 24 hours to tell me the secret of the ancient tablet, or I'm going to blow your fucking head off. He's in there working with this other fucking brainiac, but he's getting angry, so he's starting to turn into the lizard. So it was kind of interesting that they're bringing Kirk Connors into it because he was doing all right. He was enjoying his life. But they brought in Spider-Man, Caesar Cesaro. We're setting up a little mafia gang war here in New York City. Everybody wants to take everybody else out. But Silvermane figures he gets his hand on this tablet. If it's the Fountain of Youth, they'll have everything he needs to take out Caesar Cesaro and the rest of the gangsters. He needs a suit. Peter needs a suit. So do we go to an old school cloth suit? See, I'm kind of playing around here. We need a suit. That's what we're up to now. We need a suit. Could Spider-Man go to see the commissioner about getting some guns? Because remember, what we have with Uncle Ben is a former fighter pilot. Right? He's a former fighter pilot. He can have a flight suit. We got booby traps. We got Kirk Connor's wife and kid being taken hostage. We got a whole bunch of shit going on here. What happens in this one is Man Mount Marco, Caesar Cesaro, Silvermane. They're all fighting over who's the big mobster in the city. The Kingpin's also around. He's been studying. They got Kirk Connors slowly flipping out, turning into a fucking lizard. We know we're using Kirk Connors. He's down there in that tank. Mustn't forget to call Aunt May in Florida to see how she is. Gwendy. Wish Harry was back from his date. Harry and Mary Jane's got to find Kirk Connors. Once again, he's not paying attention to shit. Harry Connors has the Fu Manchu mustache. He's neglecting Gwen. This is why Gwen ends up banging fucking Norman Osborn. Having two kids that grow up too goddamn fast. He drinks it. Drinks the formula. Holy shit. What's going to happen? Oh my god. I'm a young man again. The fountain of youth. But in this next particular issue, the guy dies. If you did your homework, you see that this issue is really weird, and it's kind of depressing. What ends up happening is the fucking gangster just kind of slowly dies. He gets younger and younger while Spider-Man's looking for Kirk Connors. He's got to beat up all the gangsters, smash them into a couple of fucking walls. And all of a sudden, the guy's young again, and he's going to get even younger and younger. But the problem is he just keeps getting younger, kills fucking Caesar Cesaro, beats up on Man Mountain Marco, says he's Silvermane. He's getting even younger. The Fountain of Youth potion is working too well. It's like the Twilight Zone. As he slowly but surely gets even younger, becomes a boy, a baby, a teenager. Having solved the problem, the lizard escapes, fucks everybody up. Young Silvermane destroys the fucking lab, and then he throws him into a pile of bricks. All the gangsters don't know what the fuck is going on, but then all of a sudden they turn around and suddenly Silvermane is like a young teenager. Then he's a young boy, and Peter's got to slap the shit out of some fucking mobsters and sopranos. Paulie fucking Walnuts is there. Christopher is there, but now he's a baby, and he's shrunken down forever. Kirk Connors, his wife, they got to find a lizard, but he's too crazy. He's too nuts, and now he's escaped. Let's write up our scene here. Cut back to Peter and Ben. At his apartment, as Peter is taking off the rest of the dirty. We cut back to Peter's place as he steps out of the shower and is drying himself off. What do we want to do here? What are we doing here? What do we want to do with this scene here? We need a suit. We cut to Peter's place as he steps out of the shower and is drying himself off. We see Ben. What's Ben doing? What's Ben doing here? We cut to Peter's place as he steps out of the shower and is drying himself off. Cut to Peter's place as he steps out of the shower and is drying himself off. We see Ben waiting while smoking a fresh cigar. Yeah, Ben, smoking a fucking cigarette. How you feeling, cowboy? I like cowboy. How you feeling, cowboy? A little worse for wear, but I'll live to see the next chapter. A little worse for wear, but I'll live to see the next chapter. Ready, Uncle Ben. I'm ready to move on. Just one last what? I'm ready, Uncle Ben. I'm ready to move on. Just one last log to the fire. Peter pops on a jacket while staring at himself in the mirror. Peter pops on a jacket while staring at himself in the mirror. We will need to get the commissioner. We'll need to get, we'll need, we will need, well, we will. We'll need to get to the commissioner. You plan on meeting him in your jeans? Osborne. Osborne laced the last suit. Osborne laced me. Osborne laced me with a tracker. Osborne laced me with a tracker. I need a new suit. Dr. O's laser. Dr. O's lasers did the rest. I need a new suit. Ben will say, well, if we've used up your parents' lab, if we've used up the resources at your parents' lab, well, if we've used up the resources at your parents' lab, there's always my old flight suit. Well, if we've used up the resources at your parents' lab, there's always my old flight suit. Your old combat suit? Your old combat suit? Close up. See, now we can have some fun. Close up on Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben's sinister grin. So I like where we're going here. We're having some fun now. We're having some fun now. Sorry, kid. That suit is buried. That suit is sacred. And it's buried with your aunt. It's buried with your Aunt May. Your old combat suit? Sorry, kid. That suit is sacred. And it's buried with your Aunt May. But I do have the what? I do have my old suit from the air shows, from the old air. I do have my old suit from the old air shows. Sorry, kid, that suit is sacred, and it's buried with your Aunt May. But I do have my old suit from the old air shows. More of the post combat. More of the post combat three ring circus type stuff. So you'll be getting away. Let's see. Sorry, kid, that suit is sacred, and it's buried with your Aunt May. But I do have my old suit from the old air shows. No, not the old suit. I can't use old twice. But I do have my old suit from my run in the air shows. More of the post-combat three-ring circus type of stuff. Most More of the post-combat three-ring circus type stuff. Very patriotic colors. Sorry, kid, that suit is sacred, and it's buried with your Aunt May. But I do have my old suit from my run in the air shows. More with the post-combat three-ring circus type stuff. Very patriotic colors. Close up on Uncle Ben's sinister grin. Sorry, kid, that suit is sacred. It's buried with your Aunt May. But I do have my old suit from my run in the air shows. More of the post-combat three-ring circus type stuff. Very patriotic colors. Just need to make some very patriotic colors. And that there. Very patriotic colors. We cut to Peter and Uncle Ben at Ben's storage locker facility. We cut to Peter and Uncle Ben at Ben's storage locker facility, where we see him pull the suit out of a long shelf. We even see a little dust fly off, as it has been a while. SFX of the rusty shelf and hint of dust. So here's how we go from the black outfit that we were using in our storyline. It gets fucked up and destroyed and he's got to burn it. So now he takes Uncle Ben's old flight suit. We cut to Peter and Uncle Ben at Ben's storage locker facility, where we see him pull the suit out of a long shelf. We even see a little dust fly as it's been a while. Ben? Been a minute. It's been a while since I've seen her. It's been a while since I've seen her. But we can make the right adjustments. Make the right adjustments. Instruct. Rewire those web shooters of yours. It's been a while since I've seen her. We can make the right adjustments. Rewire those web shooters of yours. Then it's out of the darkness. It's been a while since I've seen her, but we can make the right adjustments. Rewire those web shooters of yours. Then it's out of the darkness. Back into the abyss. Close up on Peter as he smiles while looking at Ben's old flight suit. Brace yourself, kid. I'll go secure a sewing machine. Brace yourself, kid. I'll go secure a sewing machine. Is that the line we want? Nah, that's cheesy. Close up on Peter as he smiles while looking at Ben's old flight suit. Using his imagination while Ben taunts him. Brace yourself, kid. I'll go secure a sewing machine then. Something like, better polish off those sewing skills, kid. Better polish off those sewing skills, kid. I'll go land us some more beer and pizza. Nah, nah, it's cheesy. Cheesy! Close up on Peter as he smiles while looking at Ben's old flight suit, using his imagination while Ben taunts him. Do we want to mine one more comic book? Because I think we know where we're going here. Is going to be we're going to cut to Commissioner Stacy on the roof of his place, lighting up a cigar, and then we're going to pop Peter in. We're going to pop Spider-Man in the red and blue costume. Close up on Peter as he smiles while looking at Ben's old flight suit, using his imagination while Ben taunts him. Go find us a sewing machine. Warm up those thumbs. Warm up those thumbs and use your imagination, kid. I'll go find us a sewing machine. Warm up those thumbs and use your imagination, kid. I'll go find us a sewing machine. I like that. We cut to sunset over Empire City as we see dark figure smoking on his rooftop. 7 coming in closer. Yeah, we don't need the 2 shots. We cut over the sunset of Empire City. We cut to sunset over on the other side of Empire City, where we see Commissioner Stacy having a late night smoke, having a twilight smoke, having a twilight cigar while looking on to the cityscape. See, I knew that was going to happen. Warm with those thumbs and use your imagination, kid. I'll go find us a sewing machine. It's been a while since I've seen her. But we can make the right adjustments, rewire those web shooters of yours. And it's out of the darkness and back into the abyss. Close up on Peter as he smiles while looking at Ben's old flight suit, using his imagination while Ben taunts him. Warm up those thumbs and use your imagination, kid. I'll go find us a sewing machine. We cut to sunset over the other side of Empire City, where we see Commissioner Stacy having a twilight cigar while looking on to the cityscape. Spider-Man off panel. Don't drink coffee. You don't drink coffee, but you smoke a heavy stogie. You don't drink coffee, but you smoke a heavy stogie. Someone has their priorities. Someone has their priorities out of whack. Panel 7. Do we want to show Spider-Man in this shot? Yeah, because this is a lot of conversation on this panel. Close-up shot. As we see, Spider-Man smiles. Let's jump a little. Captioned across the panel reads 36 hours later. Should we do 36 just to take 24 hours later? 24 hours later. We cut the sunset over the other side of Empire City, where we see Commissioner Stacy having a twilight cigar while looking onto the cityscape. Caption across the panel reads 24 hours later. You don't drink coffee, but you smoke a heavy stogie. Someone has their priorities out of whack. Close up as we see Spider-Man in his new makeshift costume of the traditional red and blue, albeit mixed in with the converted flight suit of Uncle Ben. Commissioner Stacy continues to smoke while looking on at Spider-Man. All right. We are done here after we get the dialogue for this particular fucking panel. Close-up shot as we see Spider-Man in his new makeshift costume of the traditional red and blue, albeit mixed with the converted flight suit of Uncle Ben. Commissioner Stacy continues to smoke while looking on at Spider-Man. You don't drink coffee, but you smoke a heavy stogie. Someone has their priorities out of whack. Okay, what do we say here? We just need one line and we're done. One line and we're done today. You don't drink coffee, but you smoke a heavy stogie. Someone has their priorities out of whack. Commissioner Stacy. I like this line. You come to apologize. You come to apologize or confess. Have you come to apologize or confess? Close-up shots, we see Spider-Man in his new makeshift costume of traditional red and blue, albeit mixed with the converted flight suit of Uncle Ben. Commissioner Stacy continues to smoke while looking on at Spider-Man. That was a big puff. Oof. Have you come to apologize or confess? Come to apologize or confess? Have you come to apologize or confess? Hey, I made sure you landed on that couch. I made sure you landed on that couch. This is my private home. This is my private home. This is my private home, son. And you're not a guest. Start talking. So start talking. You have until the label is done. You have until the label is burned. You have until the label turns. I like that. He's telling him, when this fucking stogie's done, I'm fucking done listening to you. Have you come to apologize or confess? Yeah, I made sure you landed on that couch. This is my private home, son. And you are not a guest. So start talking. You have until the label turns. Old school cop. You have until the label turns. All right. Page 17 and 18 of the books. Hungry. Was kind of fun. We had a little fun with that one. We had the fucking minions getting torn apart by Dr. Octopus. Dr. Octopus telling the fucking mayor he's coming for him. And then we have basically Spider-Man having a quick little back and forth with Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben giving him his old flight suit from his air show days. So we can have the whole patriotic colors. We can bring in the red, white, and blue. Get out of the black. We have Spider-Man has to construct a new outfit. We also get to stretch a little bit of time because we don't want just immediate, next thing happens. We need these characters to get where they need to get and go where they got to fucking go. So Commissioner Stacy's having a late night smoke. Spider-Man kind of sneaks up on him. So when we come back, Spider-Man and Commissioner Stacy got to make a plan. They have to interact or come into contact with Dr. Octopus, who's got to tear some shit up, because now he's on the loose. Or he's still hiding. We have to figure out what happens. We got to get Dr. Octopus loose. We can save a page at the end here where we can show the lizard escape, or we can save that for the next fucking chapter. You know the lizard is still down there. We can blow up the fucking underwater lair. But right now, where we're going to leave off is Spider-Man and Commissioner Stacy, again, meeting up on the rooftop. They got to make a plan. They got to go after the bad guys. So when we come back for our next class, pages 19 and 20, let's go after the bad guys. Let's make a fucking plan. All right, kids, I hope you enjoyed yourself. May fate and fate decide your fortune. And if you enjoy this, buy one of the Faro's Lounge textbooks or pledge to the newest Kickstarter. Peace, love, and war. All that shit in between.